We're on?
Okay.
Go ahead there.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Summerside City Hall. My name is Rob Philpott. I'm the CAO of the city, and it's my pleasure to be your host for this event this afternoon. We are here today to present the Mayor's Good Neighbor of the Year Award to a very deserving recipient. And Mr. Galante and his family and friends are here, so welcome, sir. Glad to see you. Can't say I say the same for the Blackhawks fan sitting next to me, but welcome. I'm joined, as you know, by His Worship, Mayor Basil Stewart, just over my left.
Rob, Deputy Mayor just stepped in. If you want to take a half a second.
Oh, sure, okay. We're just going to put this on pause for one more second to allow Deputy Mayor McColeman to get settled in. Sorry about that.
No, that's great. Yeah. Anyway, we'll...
Want to carry a chat there?
Pardon? Yeah, we'll... it's great to see the legend here, and I'm not sure if he's a New York Rangers fan or not. I know he's maybe still a Red Wing. Deputy Mayor. I know he cheers for his brother, but he probably doesn't cheer for his team.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
Okay, go ahead there.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to welcome again Mr. Galante and his family and friends. Also want to welcome members of the Francis O. Perry family, Angela Kelly Perry, who is the granddaughter-in-law of Mrs. Perry, and want to also introduce some very special guests who are attending here today as well. Just to my right, Deputy Mayor Norma McColeman, Councillor Brian McFeely, Councillor Kerry Adams, Councillor Brad Ramsey, and Councillor Corey Snow, and also joined by city staff, Chief Dave Poirier. Welcome back again, Chief Dave. And also Lisa Langdale, our executive assistant and administrator, and also Brian Harlech over to my left on the controls. What we'd like to do is just in terms, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Stewart in a second, but just to give you the background on the Mayor's Good Neighbor of the Year Award, Francis O. Perry Memorial Award, is awarded to individuals, organizations, businesses, or communities based outside of the city of Summerside who have been, quote unquote, good neighbors to our community and who have contributed significantly to the overall good of our city. And as you all know, Mrs. Perry was the first only female mayor of Summerside, and it is in her name that this award is named. What I'd like to do to get rolling with the festivities this afternoon, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Stewart for some remarks, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. MC and Mr. CAO and Mr. Philpott. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this very special occasion. As Rob had mentioned, or Mr. Philpott, this is in memory and in honor of Her Worship, the late Frances O. Perry. And if you see her photo at the back of the room, she's overlooking us today and keeping an eye on things. Her daughter, Kitty, phoned me a couple of times. She thought she was going to be here, but she's unable to be here because of the travel schedule, and she had a couple of appointments. But anyway, the family members are here, and that is great. And Alfie, what more can we say? Alfie, or the legend, or Blaine, or all of the above, congratulations on behalf of the citizens and on behalf of council. Council members will have some comments there afterwards. Councillor McDougall is out of the province, but he may be connected on YouTube. We are connected live on YouTube, so they're watching around the world, Alfie. And you'll be able to have a look at it when you go home to see how things did really go. Anyway, Councillor Campbell is not feeling well today. He couldn't be here. And the same with Councillor Duran. So anyway, but they all passed on. Congratulations. And it's great to see as well, I believe we have former MLA. Is that Chris Palmer? Yes, with masks. Sometimes it takes a minute or two. And Leighton Skierman, great to have you, Leighton, and your wife. And I think I saw Billy Skierman there in someplace. Where is he? Oh, he's over there, yeah. Anyway, welcome. Billy was a former employee for the city for years. And it's great to have everybody here today. And thank you, Lisa, for arranging all of the paperwork and all the phone calls and messages. And she's going to be our official photographer as well today. So there'll be a photo taken of the legend. And But anyway, Alfie, with all your work, I know that the citation will be read here, but you've volunteered for the Lobster Kernel for years as a driver in the parade, and I think you were my driver a number of times, and for others, and you're always there with the Boys and Girls Club helping out. I'm not sure if that was before your boxing days or during or afterwards. But anyway, and you're a great greeter at the Credit Union Place and the former Cal Stadium, and he traveled with the team for 10 years and was there when they won the national championship, and he was always carrying the Summerside flag and promoting Summerside and promotion of the team and people in general. So he was highly respected. But I just tell a little funny story that one time when we were in Halifax, it might have been during that time when we were running, Gerard was going for the national championship, and we were playing the Halifax, I'm not sure what they were called then, the Bulldogs or the Lions or something. But anyway, Alfie was on the bench as a trainer, and I think he wished the referee a Merry Christmas or something, but the referee said, "You're out of the game." So Alfie jumped over the boards and started walking across the ice to go to the penalty box. And nobody knew where he was going. And then he got over to the penalty box, and the referee said, "Get out of here." So anyway, he caused a great laugh in the stadium. But anyway, he knew how to play the game. And his work, as well as with many other, helped win that national championship. But anyway, thank you, Alfie, and I'm wandering off the subject a little bit here, but not really, because you did so many great things. And again, back to Mrs. Perry. She was, when I started this Good Neighbor Award, I got that idea from some mayor across the country over the years, and I approached the Perry family, and they were very honored that we would name it in memory of Frances Perry, the first lady councillor and first female mayor of Summerside. And the trophy that is made, this large trophy, was made by Ed Dillon, who was a former councillor. And a lot of names are on there, Alfie, and it'll be presented today. And if you want to take it home with you for a couple of weeks, but it'll always be on display here in the lobby, and as well as there's a nice keeper plaque for you. And we're looking forward to your speech too, by the way. And he could even sing a little bit. I remember that white sports coat song. Yeah. But yeah, okay. You say sing it or wing it. But anyway, Mrs. Perry is overlooking the meeting today, and she'd be. Her daughter said she'd be very honored to hear that Alfie got the Good Neighbors Award. So, the Mayor's Good Neighbor Award. So we'll continue on, and we'll be back and forth here for a few minutes. And okay, introducing the special guests. I think we've gotten most of them. Are you back on the floor here, Mr. MC? We decided to hold this at noontime because it's always held on April 1st, birth date of the city, which is the 22nd. But we thought at noontime would be better because of Friday night. It may be difficult for some of the people to make it here. But anyway, the minister and your MLA, Jamie Fox, called and said he was going to try to be here, but the legislature's open. But he said to pass on congratulations and thank you for all of the great work that you do and you have done over many years. And the same with the Premier. He's off, I guess, not feeling well. So that's the situation there on the political scene. But anyway, I'll turn it back over to Rob.
Thank you, Your Worship. I noticed you mentioned at the start that Mr. Gallant can keep this trophy for a couple of weeks. I mean, Stanley Cup winners only get to keep the trophy for one day.
Okay.
Right?
That could be. Right, Gerard will have that here this summer.
Oh, probably, yeah. It could be. One final comment I should have mentioned right at the outset as well is that it's really great to see a gathering of the community here, like 2 years into a pandemic, well, hopefully an endemic now, and we've come to live with COVID-19 in our midst. It's really good to see members of the community coming out in support of this gentleman and his family, and we look forward to much more of these gatherings to come in the weeks and months ahead, so all very good. So I guess just moving right along, as the mayor had said, we're now going to move into the reading of the citation from Mrs. Kelly Perry.
this down?
Sure.
Thank you. The nomination citation. For his 25 years of service to the community, Blaine Alfie Gallant is a well-deserving of the distinction granted herein. Blaine Alfie Gallant aboard in Prince Edward Island has been a friend to all who walk through the doors at Summerside's Credit Union Place. He has been a steadfast volunteer and a tourism ambassador, and a genuine, honest, caring, and fair individual to everyone he meets. Blaine Alfie Gallant has been the epitome of a good neighbor to the city of Summerside, and we thank him. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Angie Kelly Perry. Both Kitty and Paula wish that they could have been here today to present the award. However, they are watching via web, that's for certain, and they asked me to share a few words on their behalf. Thank you on behalf of the Perry family for the wonderful honor in memory of Francis Perry. Thank you to Mayor Basil, the councilors, and all responsible for the award decision. Our congratulations to you, Blaine, for receiving this award. You are an excellent role model with your positive spirit, your friendliness, and caring ways to others, especially during a pandemic when so many people have needed comfort. You are very deserving of this award, and I would ask you to come forward so I can present it to you. Suit up.
Well, I guess I gotta do this. I'd like to thank my family for coming here, my wife, my sisters and brother. Pam's here. I'd like to thank all the people, my grade 1 teacher, my grade, Rudy, I think I had grade 5 books with you. But thanks for everybody for showing up. Like everybody says, you know, I go to the credit union place every day of the week, even when I don't gotta work, but that's my place. So, this award means a lot. Thank all the council for it. You know, I don't know what else to say. You know, it's just one of them things. That, Basil? We traveled a lot. But anyway, I'm
sang
just
a
like
lot,
to say
too.
thanks, everybody. And you can see me at the credit union place. Thank you.
So Rob, this, sorry, Mr. CAO, I'll get you to read into the minutes the little story that her daughter told yesterday to Lisa. It's on your program there. Kitty phoned yesterday and she wanted to tell a little story, so she's watching today. I'd like to welcome too Pam Gallant. I didn't notice you there. Welcome from the New York Rangers, and Mrs. Gerard. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, Kitty Wiley, who is the daughter of Mrs. Perry. She sent her regrets that she is unable to attend, but she did want to share the following story. The information on Blaine Alfie Gallant reminded me so much of my mother, especially about his personal characteristics of friendliness and support for people he met. My mother was a people person like Blaine. She was also a great listener and sometimes she offered support. With work and council business and so many things occupying my mother's mind, one day I managed to persuade her to go shopping in downtown Summerside. We saw a number of people and she patiently stopped to talk with all of them. One particular person was upset. She told my mother that she and her daughter had had a fight that day, and her daughter had told her that she hated her. Well, my mother answered her, I have raised 4 daughters, and they have all hated me at some time. It must have been comforting. Anyway, that was the story that she wanted to share. So I guess where we've presented the award to Mr. Gallant, and he's had the opportunity to speak. Your worship, if it's okay, we'll turn it over to councillors to offer any individual
yeah.
remarks. So
Thank you,
we'll start
Rob.
with Councillor Snow.
Thank you, Rob, and oh, I just lost my mic there. Thank you, Your Worship. Me and Blaine go way back. I've been a rink rat for my entire life. As soon as I could afford to start playing hockey, I basically went to the rink and I didn't leave. And on another note, I consider Blaine, and my kids definitely consider Blaine to be the best skate sharp in Prince Edward Island, definitely in Summerside. Little unknown fact, I'm probably the second best because I've been taught by Blaine himself. I used to fill in a little bit at Cal Stadium back in the day when I was a younger fellow and sharpen a few skates there for him. I think that was more of him just being nice and welcoming to me, knowing I was around the rink all the time. But there's not a time I go into the rink and don't stop down to see Blaine, because it's important to see the people in the community that really make a difference. And I know every hockey kid always goes to see Alfie and gets their skate sharp and just say hi, and he always has time for everybody in that rink. So I appreciate all you do for the city. Thank you, Blaine.
Thank you, Councillor Snow. Councillor Ramsey.
Working.
There you go.
There it is. Well, thank you to every single person that came out here to support Blaine today, his past teachers and his friends and his family, and you all know how important he is to every single one of us. And Blaine and I have been friends a long, 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 long time. And we did sing in the day, and we did a little dancing too, didn't we, Blaney? Yeah. But, and one thing for sure is Mrs. Frances Perry would know Blaine, because back in the day, we hung around the theater all the time. That's what we did. That's what really there was to do, and we always went to the matinees. And so we certainly enjoyed that part of what Mrs. Perry offered to Summerside. And Blaine, congratulations on this award. There's no one, as far as I'm concerned. You're a neighbor, but you're not a neighbor. You're one of us. But you're considered a neighbor, and that allows you to, to get this award. And I don't know that it could go to a better person. Thanks for all you do for the kids. He doesn't even let me pay to get my skates sharpened. So I know what you do for everybody in Summerside. Thank you, Blaney, for that. You're not going to make any money, though. I keep saying that to you. Take my money. Anyway, I think the world of you, and I'm just so proud of you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Adams.
Your Worship, I just want to start with Councillor Duran has sent a message and he wanted me to pass it on. He just wanted to say once again that he's sorry that he's missing an important event like this, but to Alfie, you're a Canadian hero and a friggin' legend. He said, can I say friggin'? And I said, yeah, I think so. He said there's been times when they've been elsewhere and had to get Jet's skates sharpened, but he said, no, we wait for Alfie. So he said they don't do it like Alfie does. So Justin wanted to pass on his congratulations. And for us, Alfie's a staple. You go in the rink and you're going to your dressing room, and even if you don't have time to stop, you always have time to yell, hi, Alfie, and keep trucking. So, and everybody knows Alfie. It doesn't matter if they're Summerside hockey players or not. And, our son's in Pee Wee, but I see Ruby's here, and I'm sure Ruby knows where she goes to get her skates sharpened. So you have a whole new generation coming up. The thing with Alfie is that you're 110% about the kids, and sometimes we get lost in that. If you see this picture, whenever I heard about that, tournament and the cup, the Alfie Cup for the girls. And I said, of course he did that. That's just, yeah, that's Alfie. That's exactly what we said. He would see there was a gap somewhere and he'd say he has to fill it because he takes care of his kids and nobody messes with his kids. So thank you, and we love you, and I'm sure if we had this at the Cup, then we'd have every hockey team there, and, so thank you again, and we appreciate you and everything you do for all of us.
Councillor McFeely was a former director of recreation, and probably Alfie was around when you were there.
If he was around back in those days, I think it's beyond the 25 years though. So Blaine and I had a good chat the other day, and certainly what I learned today was you're not quite as talkative behind that mic as you are when you're in the skate shop, but that's fine. And I just really, like everybody else, Blaine, want to express my appreciation for your time over the years. Certainly you were a mainstay with my kids when they were around the rink when they were young, and now my grandkids, my little 4-year-old grandson, every time he goes there, is Elfie there? Is Elfie there? So, but like Barb, I've certainly never had the opportunity to dance with you. Probably don't want to, but anyways. I did experience with little Jack there when I took his skates in to be sharpened the first time. Oh no, there's no charge for that. And then the second time I brought them, oh no charge for that. And I said, well, there was no charge the first time. You told me there was no charge the first time because you want me back the second time. Anyway, so I can just imagine the number of times that has happened over the years. And you are a mainstay in Credit Union Place now, and certainly Cal Stadium before that. And certainly want to, on behalf of our family, but not only our family, but all the residents of Ward 7, thank you for everything you've done for the city over the years. So thank you very much.
Deputy Mayor McCollum.
Well, Mr. Alfie, I don't know. There's been so many great comments about you. I'm thinking with hockey, I see you as a hometown boy, somebody that's very true, very consistent in what you do, and I think the testament to today is your family, your friends, your former teachers, Chief Dave, so many people here that just want to be here to celebrate this with you, and I think it's very well deserved. People that have come before you with this recognition, they have all been seen as leaders and qualities and characters that bring so much to Summerside as a community. I know that we go back a ways, and my husband Murray wanted to be here today, but he was working, so he does send congratulations to you. Often we reminisce on those Papa David days, and I thought maybe today I would get you to do a disco dance with me, but we'll let that go. But I think over the years, what I've really respected and admired about you is that you've always been friendly to everyone. Wherever you are, you are. And what you see is what you get. And I think sometimes people can put on a lot of platitudes and airs and whatnot. You treat everybody the same, and I know every one of us in this chamber, if we were acting highfalutin, you'd be the first one to tell us. So I just want to congratulate you and just say, over the years, you've been somebody that Murray and I have really, really thought an awful lot of, for your humor, for your jokes, for just the way that you look at life. When it throws you a lemon, you make a lemonade, and I think you're just a very, very terrific guy.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Councillor Ramsey, go ahead.
One very quick thing to say is that your mom and dad would be so proud of you, Blaney, right? Okay, all right.
Thank you, Barb. Okay, we just, I got a few more things here, but just before we move on, I just want to mention this to the members of the public. There'll be an opportunity, I don't want to catch anybody off guard, but I'll give you a minute or two to think about it. If anybody wants to come up and say a few words, the opportunity will be here. I know some of your teachers, they're all great speakers, and I think I see Bernie Gallant back there. He was up here a few weeks ago, and Smitty and But anyway, the floor will be open if anybody wants to come up and say a few words. And the nominator is here, I think, and we have others. Anyway, Kitty Wiley, the daughter of Mayor Perry, she is watching today, and I want to say hello to Kitty and wish her all the best, and hope she enjoys the program. She will be getting a photo sent to her. And she did mention to me when I was talking with her that your family lived in her ward when she was councillor and mayor. So anyway, she wanted to mention that, and she thought a lot of your family, and so I'll have that in the record. And also, we want to welcome and say hello to all of the many viewers on YouTube, and Colin McLean from the Journal Pioneer. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that for now before we adjourn, but anybody want to say a few words? Any members of the public? The floor is open here, so I see some movement there. There's Sir William. Sure, I'll take the microphone.
Thank you, Your Worship, members of council. Certainly, I don't think I can share anything, any more compliments than have already been said, but I do have a couple of things to say. I was lucky enough to work for Mayor Perry, so I was very fortunate to understand her beliefs and values. I was lucky enough to work for His Worship for a number of years, and when the brainstorming for this award came, I didn't think we'd get to this stage where we'd be a citizen and being involved in someone such as Blaine receiving the award. I was lucky enough to make a good decision in hiring Blaine back 25 or 30 years ago at the rec center. And I was also the unlucky one. After every Sunday's Caps game or road trip, I'd get a phone call from the PEI Hockey Association wanting to know if I could reel him in. I said, well, we've got a room down in the basement. That's where I said that he should be going, but he doesn't go there. Anyhow, in any community, a facility such as the rec center and now Credit Union Place, the important, I wouldn't say people, but the influencers, the people who allow people to feel safe and comfortable are people such as Blaine. I get a little pension here from working here, but if I had $1 for every time I phoned Blaine and Borden to come in for sharpen one pair of skates, never said no, ever. So Blaine is an indication of what Mrs. Perry and her family was. The Gallant family are an indication of what our community is all about, and it's been a blessing for me to be affiliated. So congratulations.
Thanks, Bill. Gerard Smitty Smith. Oh, I thought he was coming up. Sorry. Go ahead, Dot. Dot. Mrs. Peddle.
That's me. Hi. I just want to say a couple of words. I'm the oldest in the family, and I used to have to babysit a lot. And he was a treasure to babysit. Anyway, but Mom always stood up for him. It was always me, it wasn't him. Right? Anyway, we're all very proud of you today. I know some of us didn't make it, but we're very proud of you today. And like, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to. But Mom would say, "Oh, my Blaney boy." Okay, thank you.
The floor is yours, sir. You're used to
Mayor
it.
Stewart, council members, friends of Alfie. I didn't plan to speak, but having coached the junior team in Summerside 4 different times, I had Alfie as a trainer. I think every time but one, back maybe with the Crystals, but Alfie was a much better speaker when he was a trainer than he was today. whenever the games used to get a little hot and you get on the referees, that's when Alfie kicked in. And I echo Brian's remarks earlier there where Alfie didn't miss a beat. He was on the referee, he'd get thrown out. He almost, or I guess he did lead the league in penalty minutes one year. I forget how many, but he was practically thrown out of half the game. So, Alfie, you saved me a lot of times. Congratulations on your honor. You're well deserving of it.
Thanks, Gerard.
I wasn't planning to speak either, but I couldn't resist. 50 years ago today, Blaine was sitting in my classroom at the Summerside Junior High on Summer Street. And he came over from Elm Street, and I was fortunate one to have him in my class. And I told him today, when I think back of all the students I've taught over the years, the one that has meant the most to me, and probably the one that I learned the most from, was Blaine. The year I taught Blaine, his brother Larry was in Halifax with a congenital heart issue, and Rosie was there quite a bit with him, and the dad and the brothers and sisters were in charge of Blaine. And one of the things that I remember, Blaine doesn't remember this, but I do. Coming on Christmas, he wanted to get the Christmas tree for the class. Do you remember that, Blaine? So I said, no problem, you go get the tree and bring it in. So he brought it in on I think a Thursday. And unbeknownst to me and him, he had cut a larch or a juniper, which many of you, if you know anything about trees, you know they lose their needles come fall. So that's fine. We got the tree up, and we were going to decorate it on Monday. So everybody's, when I get in there Monday morning, I see all these people looking in the window. We had windows in our door, and all these people looking in the window. A lot of them were laughing and carrying on. Every single needle on that tree had fallen off over the weekend. So anyway, we needed to get another tree. So, but his heart was in the right place, and he was volunteering even way back then. And one of the things that Blaine said to me today that meant a lot to me as a teacher and as a parent and as a grandparent, he mentioned many of the adults coming and congratulating him and so on, but the thing that meant the most to him were the children coming. And you don't fool children. Adults can fool you, but the children, they know. And they come like a magnet to you if they know you. And that's the way Blaine is. And the last thing that I will say is that recognition and respect is not given, it's earned. And Alfie has earned every bit of what he's received today and more. So congratulations, Blaine. He's still Blaine to me.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy Crokin. And I didn't mention it, I don't think, maybe it was mentioned, but it's great to have our police chief here, Dave Poirier. He was off for a while, but he's back, and we didn't ask him to be here, Alfie, you know, to try to keep order, because we knew you were not at a hockey game, so things would be fairly quick. Yeah, you settle down now. Anyway, it's great to have our police chief here today. And so anyway, the floor is still open, but I'll just mention that, you know, Alfie, I've known him since 1971. And Alfie is a lot like his brother Gerard. He's got lots of heart, big heart, lots of guts, and lots of talent. And I'm sure Gerard would be very proud of you, because he was with you on many of those trips when you made the big run in 95, 96, and 97. And so Anyway, and it's great to have Gerard's wife here, Pam. And congratulations to the Rangers. They're doing really well. And I'm sure before the season's over, Alfie and Melvin will be all have Rangers caps, and you'll put the Chicago in. But anyway, all the best. So we've gotten to the end of the agenda, I believe, unless somebody else wants to speak. Sorry? Yeah, sure, go ahead. This is a special day.
Just as the different comments were being said, and I was just looking at you, Alfie, and as Mayor had pointed out, former Mayor Frances, her picture is just kind of right behind you. But I think something that is very important to note, because there used to be a bit more maybe of information about her business in the background with Capitol Theatre and other areas and a large family. But I think the fact that she was the first mayor, but I always tell people this, she was a very important role model to me that caused me to want to try and do things like she did. And I can remember she was my Girl Guide teacher, and her daughters, like they were kind of role models to me. But the thing that I really admired about her was just what was said today, that she really cared about the community, and people just really naturally gravitated or followed her because she had that caring spirit like you have. So I think it was very appropriate, you know, that you were the selection for this year. The other thing that I think is really important to point out is that 2/3 of our community of Summerside is Acadian, and you're a good Acadian boy, and so Mayor Frances was also an Acadian girl, and I think that's so important. And she played for the Crystals. I didn't realize that, but she did. So hockey was in her veins as well. So just wanted to, I guess I tend to be a little bit of a historian, but I didn't know if you knew that, but that's important. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Okay, I guess we want to again thank Angie Perry and for being here representing the family. And there will be some photos right soon here before we start. We have a reception planned. So I guess if that's all, anything further? Rob, did you say? Okay. So we'll adjourn this, and Alfie, if you come forward, and if you want photos with your members of the family. Yeah, and there is a reception, but we'll get the photos first. So make sure that we get them, because once people leave, they're scattered. It's easier to get the photos. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Again, congratulations. And we'll adjourn. And if you want to step forward, Alfie, with your wife and your family members and anybody else that wants a photo. Thank you.